Hello, everybody, and welcome to another last minute exploring Avatar. Thank you for everybody that's here. I know we said we probably wouldn't have one this week, but we tried to get away, and a bunch of Avatar stuff just dropped. So, but of course, hello to my co-host Drew. How you doing, Drew?
What's up, guys? Doing good, Jerry. Nice to see everybody in here.
All right, so let's see a little shout out to some people in the chat already. Aftem Child, like always, hello. Some guy says good vibes. We got Juan, Lynx Cat, and actually have a few interesting images that Lynx Cat sent us, so that's going to be pretty fun a little later in the show. Donovan, Charlie Woods in here. But yeah, hello to everybody, and either, happy evening or morning, wherever you are in the world. But yeah, let's kind of get into it. We didn't think we were going to have, an episode this week, but I think we're going to
I
start
thought
out
you
with
gave me the week off.
I know, and but you know how it is. You know how it is. As soon as you started to relax and send a picture of you just chilling, I was like, nope, get off that chair. Let's get back to work.
That's right.
But no, really, I think we both thought we were good. But honestly, some interesting stuff dropped, and you know what? We're just like, let's just have more episodes. We have fun. Hopefully, you guys have fun. It's not going to be a super structured episode today. There's going to be a lot of random topics. But we're going to start off with probably the bad news first. And then hopefully we just get like good news from then on. But for everybody that came off of watching us do our 3-part overview and discussion of Avatar The High Ground Volume 1, I guess the bit of bad news, right, Drew, is that it actually, Volume 2 and Volume 3, even the comic shop dates just got delayed. So we'll bring up our really out of date chart first, and then we'll show you the up to date one that Drew created earlier today. So, they saw we were having fun, going through these volumes, and they're like, yeah, no, no more fun for you. So the original ones were, obviously, we got the first volume at comic shops, not retail. We got that November 2nd. We were a little over a week away from receiving Volume 2 on November 30th, and then Volume 3 at comic shops on December 7th. Well, Drew sent this over to me today. He's a bundle of great news. Yeah. So look at what's different there under the comic shop dates. So Drew, hit us with the bad news.
Well, I don't know. I like to randomly check out and see what dates are. I go to darkhorse.com, I go to Amazon, and I noticed that Volume 2 comic shops have been pushed back to December the 14th. So, like, okay, that sucks. So, well, I guess Volume 3 will be after The Way of Water gets here. So I checked out Volume 3, and it also is showing December 14th. So I got on Amazon and thought I'd check out the retail, and it's been updated. So Volume 3 is January the 10th, the same as Volume 2, also January the 10th. Are they going to stick with that? I don't know. These dates have changed so many times that, nothing would really surprise at this point. That'd be kind of odd, I think, for them both to come out on the same day, but maybe it's a shipping problem. Maybe that's when they're expected to arrive. I don't know. So as right now, December 14th and January 10th. And the other strange thing that's been going on, several people in the community have said that they have already received their digital copy from Amazon for Kindle of Volume 3 of The High Ground. They haven't received 1 or 2 yet, but they have the volume 3 digital version. So that is out there.
Yeah. So we were kind of like bummed. Really, I was bummed because, we kind of told you guys, like, we had this little plan, we'll start reviewing volume 2 on, the day after the 30th when it would arrive to comic shops. So on December 1st, kind of, be able to take a week to 2 or 3 part that one. And then once again, the same thing with volume 3 a week later. And those kind of got derailed. But as Brianna Brown, first of all, I do want to say, as we're talking here, a couple super chats came in. Like always, thank you so much, the Topic Podcast Network, Albert. First one he sent was, I love that you can super chat before it starts. Thank you so much for that. Let's see here. Our next one was BIG. Do you think tickets are dropping tonight online? Well, that's going to be actually one of the topics that we do cover a little bit later on. I don't think tonight, but we'll cover we do think they are dropping tomorrow. I mean, I guess it depends where you're at, either what country or but for us here in the US, I believe they drop tomorrow, but we'll get into that. And we have some like little images to show you guys. And the second one from the Topic Podcast Network, for you and Drew to get yourself some snacks along with your tickets in a few hours. Question, at what point will Ronal have her child? Mid-film, start of film, guess away, from the Avatar podcast. And actually, good thing you brought that up, because that's going to be another topic that we cover later on this episode. So stay tuned for that one, Albert. We will cover that. Yeah, it's going to be a bunch of random topics, but back to this one here. We were kind of bummed. And like Brianna Brown was saying in the chat that some people have gotten volume 3. Apparently there was a mix-up. If you had pre-ordered the digital of volume 1 from Amazon, apparently what they just did either 1 or 2 days ago, a couple days ago, was they actually gave them volume 3 instead of actually giving them the digital copy of volume 1. So basically what people have access to right now digitally, if you had pre-ordered, is volume 3. And we actually do have a copy of volume 3. So one thing we're going to say, we got this. We got this. So yes, we will not have volume 2, but there's just no way that we can wait till the 14th, right, Drew? Like, there's no way. Just 2 days, honestly, 1 day, because you'll see when we get to when we talk about tickets, you can actually see the movie on the 15th if you're here in the US. But we'll get to that. So there's no way that in 1 day where, I don't really think they're gonna drop both volumes at the same time. I think this is still
kind of hard to believe.
I can believe maybe 2. But I think it's still maybe a placeholder for 3. They're just like, we'll just give it the same date for now, probably, until they really did figure that out. But what we're going to do is go through, or at least if you guys are okay with it, I kind of presented the idea to Drew. I said, you know what? Why don't we go ahead, since we have the digital files to volume 3, why don't we go ahead and go through volume 3, in 3 parts, just like we did with volume 1. I know we're skipping volume 2, but by the time it comes out, you guys will, it'll be drowned out by the actual movie. We're going to get other supplemental material literally around those days, like the new art book, the new DK visual dictionary, which is going to have a ton of information. And to really still give, the high ground, it's time to shine, we were thinking, why don't we just skip volume 2? We can all just kind of brainstorm, and as soon as we see how volume 3 starts and how volume 1 ended, we can kind of piece together, what transpired. Obviously, the plan that we saw that Jake had from volume 1, maybe it doesn't go according to plan. So if you guys are okay with it, I present the idea to Drew. Let's just go through volume 3 and we'll just kind of, forget volume 2 for now. Maybe we can cover it in the future once it actually comes out. Just kind of skim through it really quick. But if you guys are okay with it, would you guys mind us going through volume 3? Because we do have the digital files of that, before the movie drops. And what do you think, Drew?
Yeah, I mean, on one hand, I hate it. I mean, I've been waiting on this comic to release for 3 years. We finally got volume 1. I love it. Now we have volume 3. I wish we could go in order, and I totally would be fine waiting to go in order. But by the time we get our hands on volume 2 and go through it, break it up in 2 or 3 sections and try to go through it, I mean, the movie's going to be out. It would just totally get drowned out. And since volume 3 finishes up and leads right into The Way of Water, I think it's a no-brainer. We have to go ahead and cover it. Cover it maybe that last week before The Way of Water releases, and just roll with it. I mean, later we'll get to volume 2 and break it down and have fun with that, but I say go for it.
Yeah, and obviously, I would say if anybody doesn't want to, know how or what happens in 3 before 2, because like I said, I feel we will get to it, at some point, but it's just gonna be crazy. Like when at that same week that the movie drops, we're gonna be in movie mode. We're gonna do a stream, like, our thoughts on the movie, hopefully with you guys as well, like after you guys have seen it on that Friday night. And then, like I said, there's going to be other books, but so if you guys want to wait, you can wait. You don't have to tune in for the streams, but I think it would still be kind of fun. And just because, it wasn't, anybody's fault, but we still think the high ground deserves its time to shine before the movie comes out, so you guys can at least see that story right before the events of the movie, if you guys would like. But we can always, discuss that later. We might start that next week or so, right? Something like that.
Yeah, we know this isn't ideal, but this is kind of the hand we've been dealt. Like Jerry just got done explaining, if it wasn't for the fact of when these dates are and when when these dates are and when Avatar 2 comes out, then we would just wait. But the fact that Avatar 2 is dropping and we don't have any way to get out volume 2 before then, that kind of makes it an easy decision for us. There's just too much to try to get out. Getting the book on the 14th, trying to get pictures of all the pages, etc., etc. Like, there's no way we can get it out by the 15th. And on the 15th, me and Jerry are going to be enjoying Avatar 2, so it's not really going to be on our plate to get the high ground out at that time.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess that segues us into, so obviously, we'll let you guys know. So tune in for the start of volume 3 next week, when we probably would have started volume 2. And that way we can take our time with 3 as well and not feel like we got to rush them. You know what I mean? So we'll take our time. We'll space them out, a few days apart, just to let each part kind of simmer, and we'll have fun with it. But this kind of segues us into talking about the 15th, the movie tickets, right, Drew?
Yeah, and when you say that we'll get to that, probably volume 3 next week, at this rate, that'll probably be tomorrow, right?
What? No.
I mean, it was just Friday that we said we're going to take this entire week off.
Oh god!
And here we are on Sunday, and we're already doing another podcast. So
no, but apparently this week is going to be chock full itself. So I think we'll be plenty busy already. But
yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back this week.
Yeah, we'll be back for sure. So yeah, basically, some rumors started circulating that this upcoming Monday, which is actually now tomorrow, that both the tickets and a new trailer, and thirdly, that the Avatar remaster would be added to Disney Plus. So all 3 of those: movie tickets, a new trailer, and Avatar remaster joining Disney Plus. And the tickets with the new trailer make sense. I mean, is it probably a little too soon, or like, I don't know. We kind of discussed it off, off stream, that maybe we didn't really, completely need or like want another trailer, but Disney loves to do this. They love to present like a final trailer right there with like, tickets on sale now. So it's like a really, for them, a powerful way to announce that tickets are on sale. They always bundle it with a new trailer. So, and then apparently people started seeing that there was TV spots during a football game yesterday, during, if you were watching NFL, that was announcing that a new trailer was in fact coming on Monday, tomorrow night. Were you going to say something, Drew?
Oh, I'm a little confused about that because, I mean, the NFL doesn't really ever play on Saturdays. Was there a game yesterday?
I don't know. I saw some people saying that on Reddit, that they were watching football. I mean, unless they meant soccer, because I mean, I watch soccer and I know it as football. But when I saw them say football on Reddit, I assumed they meant American football, because they did say during that it was kind of teasing that the trailer would drop during like Monday Night Football. But I don't know.
Huh. So, I know there was a Thursday night game, but there's really not Saturday games until the playoffs, so maybe it was during the Thursday game. I don't know.
Maybe.
I didn't watch the Thursday night game, so my bad. Another thing I wanted you to clarify was Avatar coming back out on Disney Plus. Is that a for sure thing? Is that kind of a rumor floating around right now?
Yeah, those are just the 3 rumors. So the 3 rumors were that that all of them would drop. I don't. Oh, actually, I did see it. I don't have the image with me, but I did see that. I believe it was Germany or a different country did put out their what's coming up next on Disney Plus, and it did say the Avatar remaster on Monday, the 21st. So
awesome.
I don't know if it was Germany or somewhere else. And the same thing literally just happened, I think, a week or 2 ago, because they dropped the unannounced like Grogu. Like, if anybody knows The Mandalorian, they dropped a little Grogu short on, I think, the 17th to commemorate the year or 3 years since it debuted on that day 3 years ago. So it was like a little short made by Studio Ghibli. And the same thing, they basically, it leaked because like that, the same kind of shot from a different country, Germany or something like that, also had it listed, for whatever it was, 17th or something. And now the same thing happened with the Avatar remaster.
Okay, that's good to hear. I wasn't sure, what had been confirmed and what was still a rumor at this point.
I think at the end, all of it is still, just speculation and rumor. But at least with the tickets, that one, you kind of had actually sent me some pictures, and I'll put them up here. Because the other thing is that tickets are going to go on sale tomorrow. Also, I've seen around online that people that work in theater chains were also saying, like, yes, they have inside knowledge that, yes, they will go live tomorrow. But you actually sent me first this one right here, where you went to your local theater where you watched the remaster, and you said that just like with the remaster, the day before those went on sale, you also were able to see, already the show times and everything. And now you're saying, right, like this is basically showing you the same thing.
Yeah, this is exactly what happened before the remaster. The day before it dropped, I was able to see all the times and the days, and the buttons that are kind of a light colored orange, it shows the times. When you can go ahead and purchase tickets, they'll become a bright orange. Anytime I click on them right now, it basically just says tickets coming soon. So yeah, this looks exactly like it did about 24 hours before I could buy tickets for the remaster. So in my head, I'm kind of taking that as confirmation that they will be available at some point tomorrow. For the remaster, they went on sale about 9 a.m. my time. And I know it just depends on the country, the theater chain that you're trying to buy from, etc. But if you guys are looking to get tickets in advance, keep your eye out tomorrow.
Yeah, I think the time I saw floating around was like 9 a.m. CST, and I think that might be yours, right? It's like Central Time,
Yeah,
something like
Central
that.
Standard
Okay,
Time, the
there you
best
go.
time.
Alrighty, yeah, we're not gonna. Uh, it's all about mountain. See, Hallelujah Mountain Time, baby, Hallelujah Mountain Time.
That's right.
Anyways, here's a quick pick. He sent me some other ones. So on the very left are the showtimes I believe you said for the 15th. So this is, this is why
Yes.
he even altered his countdown, because actually we don't have to wait till the 16th. They started, I mean, this trend has always been going. They used to call them the midnight showings, where like you can technically watch it, the night before. It used to be actually at midnight, but now they've started to get earlier and earlier, and it basically nowadays is just, it releases like a day early, just starting in the afternoon instead of the morning for showtime. So here we see that his earliest that he can get tickets for, most likely tomorrow, are for 3 p.m. and that's probably what you're gonna do, right? 3 p.m.
I believe we're actually going to go to the 4 p.m. showing, but yes, I'm getting tickets for either 3
Oh,
or
okay.
4, probably 4. Just how it's going to work out with my schedule. So,
Exactly. And then that second image there, like he said, as soon as he went to like click on a showtime to, usually buy the tickets, it tells him tickets coming soon. Be sure to check back later. And then the other image here, all the way to the right, was actually his Friday. So that would have been the opening day, Friday the 16th. So right there, you could see that he could see it as soon as 9:10 in the morning, 10, 1:35, and so forth. And he put out a video also going through it, which you can watch as well on his channel. Obviously, links are in the description. But he kind of states, obviously these won't be the showtimes specifically for you and your local theater. He also said that you're in a smaller, smaller city, right?
yeah, the city that this theater's in is only about 50, 55,000 people, but kind of the metropolitan area is about 200,000 people. So it's not a real big area, lots of farmland around here. So if you're in a bigger city, I mean, you're going to have a lot more options than I have. This is my only option. So
Yeah.
that's what I got.
Eh,
But also I wanted to add that the times that it shows for Saturday, they were the exact same for Sunday and for Saturday. Excuse me, for Friday. Times it's showing for Friday were the exact same for Saturday and Sunday as well. So the whole weekend kept those exact same showings. The only one that was a little bit less was the first day, the 15th.
yeah. Just because they're starting like in the afternoon at 3 p.m. And we can kind of see here that
Right.
they are looking to push more the 3D, obviously, because I mean, even with the remaster, my favorite format. So that's what I'm really going to check tomorrow, because I believe I told you guys in the last stream, we started talking about the different formats. And my favorite one for the past few years is actually the Dolby Cinema. And what really like upset me was like I was so pumped to see the remaster in that, best sound, best visual quality, but they didn't show it in 3D. Even though they do have the capabilities, they told me that just Disney didn't actually send them, the 3D, basically the 3D file or film to show in that format. So it was only playing in 3D in like IMAX or just like the regular, real D 3D. So I was really bummed, but I'm really hoping, because James Cameron is, really pushing for Dolby Cinema 3D. That's kind of the one he's working with right now. Um, I'm hoping that the one near me does get the 3D version of Avatar 2. If not, oh well, big whoop. I have to see it in IMAX 3D, which it's still good for the
Oh, you poor
extra like
guy.
parts of the image. I know, right? Come on, like first world problems, but still, it's just like it's the seats, man. Like yeah, the image is great. I get a little bit, more in the top and bottom, but those stadium seats kill me. Like I now need to be like a freaking royal in those, once you go Dolby or even just regular AMC, because that's it. Even like any regular seat, like a standard here for you, but at around me in AMC is like going to be super comfortable recliners, but for some reason IMAX they're still with stadium seating around me. Like I don't get it. But anyways, regardless, that's what I'm going to be watching out for. Hopefully, crossing my fingers. But regardless,
I don't
can't
have
wait,
those
man.
first world problems, so.
Hey, I don't have.
This is where I can go see it.
I don't have the Screen X or 4DX around me, so. But I honestly like those don't sound like 100% fun all the time. Maybe just like for a little bit, like an action scene or something. But yeah, man, it's still gonna be super exciting. Like I was telling you, I can't believe like finally tomorrow, we can, hopefully, it's still speculation, but whatever, that we can finally get, our hands on the tickets. Like it's really like it's tangible now. It really is, it's kind of crazy to think after all this time.
Yeah, it really is. And like I said, even if I hadn't heard any of the rumors about tickets coming out tomorrow, just from what I've seen myself, I would have got the feeling they were coming out tomorrow. So to hear the rumors about that, plus what I'm seeing through this app, really leads me to believe we'll be able to buy our tickets tomorrow, which is so exciting.
Yeah, so that's awesome. So that's one thing. And obviously, we're going to get a trailer, which now some of you guys are saying here in the chat. Oh, first of all, I do want another super chat. Thank you so much, Albert, man. Your support is awesome. He says, Avatar The Way of Water post-credits clips as extras on Disney+. Oh, I think he means when we got the remaster,
yes,
the 3 different clips. Disney, please add that. I mean, literally, it is kind of like extra. So, and really, they would only help sell and spread word of mouth on how great they look if you just allow them to see them on the streaming app. So it would only benefit the Way of Water in every way. So hopefully. But yeah, I see some people here in the chat are saying that ESPN did confirm that the final trailer will be during Monday Night Football tomorrow. So I guess it's confirmed, man.
Awesome. Cool.
So there you go.
Hey, I also saw Alexander Shockey in the chat. He was asking about how much a ticket is these days. All I can speak for is my local theater. And with the convenience fee of buying it online plus the seat, it was about $18 for the 3D.
Yeah, Drew would know. I don't know. I'm sponsored by AMC, so I just see everything for free.
They pay you to go see movies.
Yeah, they're like, please just come see the movie, please. Like, all right, I'll go see The Fabelmans by Steven Spielberg. But no, I'm not sponsored by AMC. But no, I did say the last stream that I really don't. I know how much they cost. I just don't pay it because they offer a membership, and I would really encourage you guys, especially tomorrow, to ask if any of your local theaters, like if any of you weren't here last time, ask if they have some kind of membership program, because that's what my theater does. It's like a kind of like a Netflix subscription. So I pay my local theater $20 a month. It just gets taken out, but I can see 12 movies a month, which is 3 movies a week, and it renews every week, like every Friday. So I'll be watching Avatar 2 3 times on opening weekend, because I'm just going to use up my three showings that week, and I'll probably just keep doing that until it's not in theaters, or unless I don't have time to use them all up. But yeah, I really encourage you guys to see if first, before you buy, see if you guys have anything like that in any of your local theaters, because it would really save you a ton of money. Because I think right now the premiums, like you said, aren't they like $18 for like the premium, like IMAX 3D and Dolby Cinema? I know those are like $17, $18 each. So it's just crazy. It's expensive.
Yeah, my tickets are basically that, and it's not IMAX. It's just real D 3D. So with the fees, like I said, it's a little over $18. I think without the fees, it's $16.37 a ticket. So not cheap.
Oh my God. So yeah, I really hope somewhere, some of you have some kind of theater around you that might offer this. Or if you live in the US, please see if you have an AMC theater chain around you. Like, I really encourage you to do that. It's a great value. But other than that, I still hope you guys can secure your tickets tomorrow. But yeah, we're going to have a new trailer. So I'm guessing closer to tomorrow night, right? If it's going to premiere during Monday Night Football. So not really in the morning like we got the last one.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, if they just drop it everywhere sometime throughout the day, or if they're going to wait till closer to Monday Night Football or what.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely going to be keeping
All right.
my eye out throughout the day.
Yeah, so definitely, I feel like we just got this recent official trailer. So it's going to be like kind of hard to process. We'll have a completely new trailer, but new one to break down, and it's going to give us so much more material. So it's going to be a fun week, just when we thought we were going to have it off.
That's right. Speaking of that new trailer, has anybody heard? Is it more of a TV spot? Like, is it possible we won't be getting a whole lot, if any, new footage? Or is it supposed to be just completely brand new, a whole bunch of new footage too? I didn't know if anybody knew that.
I mean, if I think some said that it was worded as a final trailer, so I assume that probably means it is going to be another full trailer. So that's usually what you kind of get. You get your teaser, your first official, and then your final. So I guess it is going to be a full blown one.
Going to be wild.
Hopefully, not too much. Hopefully they don't feel they need to reveal too much of the story still. A little bit more, because I do feel even the average fan just didn't really take too, because we got to remember, like, we're in a little bubble. We're like in the Avatar bubble. But if you're not in the Avatar bubble, not everybody knows everything already about all that this character's doing. So if you're just an average casual viewer, even the first official trailer didn't give you much. And we already know that there's going to be so many layers and it's going to be complex. So maybe, scratch a little bit more, under that surface, but just not too much where us who do know can piece together like so much, So hope they'll have to walk a fine line.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be interesting to see what we find out. Like, I hope it's not too much, really, but just just another trailer. It's going to be hard to not just get so excited again right before this comes out, which I know is the whole point of it. But hopefully it drops early enough tomorrow that we can talk about it tomorrow evening.
Oh yeah, for sure. So possibly another stream from us tomorrow, of course, most likely. But of course we'll let you guys know. We'll set up the stream and kind of promote it a little bit. But yeah, the next thing kind of wanted to touch on. Last night I was kind of going, just kind of scrolling, and I was seeing different promotional images that I hadn't really seen many people post on their socials or anything. So I thought it'd be cool to kind of share them. And actually, one in particular, I just dropped the video kind of discussing it. It's including the character of Ronal. But yeah, I just wanted to share some of these new images I found. I thought they were really cool. In case any of you didn't watch that recent video or just are curious, and they're gonna appear in different merchandise like t-shirts and things like that, like all kinds of different pieces. So one of them here was, and I'm sure there's going to be different variants. I found here, it looks like kind of like a black and white sketch variant of Jake Sully and 3 skim wings that actually look to be gliding, unlike how we've usually seen them, with the tail submerged in the water and just kind of propelling it. I think this kind of looks like they're finally in a little bit of glide mode there, right?
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me, which is super cool.
Yeah, and then
by the way, I absolutely just love this art.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, the image of Jake is amazing. Somebody, because I did put this on my socials today. Somebody on Instagram commented like it has a little bit of flavor of Aloy or from the Horizon Zero Dawn game. because she kind of has that same kind of hairdo a little bit. But yeah, I'm loving his hairdo in this movie. This picture in particular, like this art looks awesome, man.
Which is pretty crazy because one of the things, honestly, I love about Avatar is the color palette. Yeah, this in black and white just really pops.
Yeah, and to prove that, here's the juxtaposition to that, which now includes Neytiri, but it kind of looks like it would be in the similar style, except this one it does have the color. So I'm sure there's some merchandise pieces gonna have color for that Jake variant. But I did like seeing it in the sketch form as well. That looked really cool. But here's another, just I think it looks awesome. Another beautiful like Neytiri image. You most likely get this on T-shirts and like in different merchandise. So this was another one I found that I was like, man, that's awesome. You get to see her new look, the Metkayina village that we've kind of seen in other images, and then you see her kind of riding her new Banshee up there.
If I had one complaint actually about both images, it's that horrible writing that's behind them.
Hey, how did I know you were going to say that? Hey, okay, these were taken.
That's awesome.
No, I kind of put these together last night when I found them. I was like, oh man, these are awesome. And obviously I got to, put the branding on it. Put the branding on
That's it. Right. These are awesome. They're mine.
I know somebody's
notice,
like,
guys,
did you draw the Jake Sully one? I was like, no, I didn't draw it.
No. No, it couldn't say exploring Avatar. It has to say discovering Pandora. Thank you, Jerry.
I didn't think we were gonna make this stream and I would have him on here, but you're right. I should have made an exploring Avatar variant of him. You're right. Even our variants need variants. Oh Jesus.
That's right, because we have a week off this week.
But let's keep going. Another and then, but I think my favorite of one that featured Jake and Neytiri was this one right here. And obviously, just regard the writing, please. But just look at the image. Like that is awesome, man. I love their embracing, and then like just the shape of the heart. And it's hard to tell, but I did see a variant of it that was in like, I think it was like in purple or something. So it's meant to look like it's made with watercolor. And actually in between them, you can hardly see it, but in between them, you can see like a giant leaf and then like a little air bubble from like water. And I believe it's from that tree, the underwater tree that we saw in that recent trailer. I believe it's meant to be one of those big leaves, but you can see it better like in a colored version.
Huh, that's really cool. I actually wouldn't even have noticed that detail if you hadn't said that. So I love this picture though.
Yeah, I was like, man, that's pretty awesome. But what it really started to get interesting when I got into the two next ones. I mean, this next one is just a portrait of Ronal, but it still looks it's in that sketch kind of way like the Jake, and also looks awesome. You got the waves there with kind of like the bottom of her hair kind of like going into the wave. I think that's awesome. And then I love that also they have different hairstyles. Like they're more like curly hair instead of like what we saw in the first movie with the Metkayina and all them. I love that even their hair is just going to be completely different. And then you get like a little tattoo there, because obviously we know with the Metkayina, it's the first Na'vi tribe or clan that we see that they actually have tattoos. And we learned from that little preview page in the DK book that's upcoming that they have like very symbolic meaning with a lot of their tattoos, right?
Does every one of these pictures say discovering Pandora on them?
Yes, it does. Spoiler alert.
No, I would like to know who did these. I mean, I get the feeling that it might be the same person. They're freaking beautiful.
And believe it or not, it was.
Yes, I love how they. It wasn't because looking at the images, I would think maybe you drew them. But no, I do love how they're incorporating the different aspects. Like you said, the last one, that leaf and the air bubble, and then this one with the tattoos on the side. And yeah, the hair is awesome. It's cool to see not V hair that's not tightly braided, I think. I enjoy that style.
Oh yeah, and another super chat from Albert. And exactly, that's what I thought, but I didn't put it in my scripted video because when I did bring up like images of the the wood sprites, the otokorinas, I was like, am I crazy? I felt maybe, people would be like, all right, but let me go back to it really quick. Because I did think right here, I don't think you could really see my mouse, of course, but I did feel that kind of like with their hairs a little bit, even starting from like at the top where it kind of starts to form the heart shape. I did feel it was like the what do you call them, like the little tentacles of the wood sprite, but I didn't put it in my scripted video. What are you laughing at?
Lynxcat1 said one of my many not V wives has this type of hair. But no, I do agree that I think this was definitely supposed to be an Atokarina that they put the photo into. So good eye, both of you.
And I guess that would kind of make if the the one that's hard to see, like the big leaf in between them with by the little air bubbles. If that's that new tree, obviously the original wood sprites we saw came from the the one from the forest. Maybe it's just like a little this one kind of the wood sprite represents the forest, and the leaf at the bottom kind of represents the new setting they're at. So just different layers you can look at. So I love that one. But the most interesting one that I need all of you guys' opinion, especially if you didn't watch the video I just put out, is this one. And tell me right away, we'll play, like, what's the thing that sticks out right away? Like, what do you guys see here?
The first thing I noticed, not pointing out what you're mentioning, but first thing I noticed was Tonowari's face does not look very pretty. But yeah, apart from that, it looks like Ronal has lost a child or two.
Oh my god. Yeah. That right away I was like, see, because like I said, I had never seen these anywhere, like in anybody's socials or anything. And I was like, wait, to me, I was like, that's like a pretty big deal. Because anything or any time that we've seen her in the trailers or anything, she's obviously pregnant. So I was like, okay, my mind eventually immediately went to hold on, let me see if I can get you guys a version.
Do you think this is her before she met Norm then?
Before she met Norm, because Norm is like he's the father of like all these new kids apparently.
Apparently, yeah. That's what I was curious.
But yeah, so my mind went to either, well, first of all, my little disclaimer was I can be completely wrong, and all this is maybe they just didn't, for some reason, didn't want to show her, pregnant in like a lot of the merchandise. But I mean, I don't really see where that could be off-putting. So obviously, in my mind, I went to theories, and it was either that at some point in the movie we will see her like this. So it was either a flashback, like you said, like before, or it could be after she gives birth, since, Kate Winslet did say that. Drew, what are you doing? Oh my god.
Fitty Papani. Got me on that one.
She fed the baby to a skimwing. Oh, you monster. But yeah, or if she had the baby.
I have a hypothesis in that photo that looks like the Atokarina. I think it was that one. Anyways, the one that has the leaf with the bubble. It actually kind of looked like a skimwing tail, like the end of a skimwing tail to me. So, and then we got Fitty coming in. It's kind of making sense now.
It's all. I think you can, you can make up your own your own narrative in your head and connect the dots however you like.
But no, I'm sure we will see her either before or after the baby. So I don't know.
Norm strikes back.
I wouldn't have had a problem. I wouldn't have had a problem if they had used her pregnant in the art, but I guess if you have the choice, if we're going to see her both ways, I guess not pregnant kind of makes more sense.
Yeah. And yeah, Juan says looks like it could be a design in front of a shirt. Yeah, actually, this one, so you could get basically just Tonowari by himself on a shirt, and then I've seen that you can just get Ronal like this by herself on a shirt, and they'll have like the waves right there on the side, so it does look really cool. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to share with those images with you guys. I thought they looked pretty cool. I hadn't really seen them. Yeah, they're on shirts and posters. There's a poster version of this. I apparently didn't load it on here, but yeah, there's a cool full size poster of this that you can get, obviously with color. That looks really cool. So, but
I saw a link says that Hot Topic sells all these designs. I didn't know that.
Yeah, both. If you guys go to boxlunch.com or hottopic.com, because either Hot Topic owns Box Lunch or whatever, but they're owned by the same company. You could even tell like the websites literally are exactly the same design, and they're owned by the same company. Except I would say go to Box Lunch, because if you buy from them, believe their whole thing of why they're even called Box Lunch is because when you spend a certain amount of money, I believe it's like at least 35 or something, you basically provide a lunch for somebody in need. Like they do kind of help. Like you're buying your geeky merchandise, but it actually does, at the same time, it does provide a lunch for people in need. So I would say out of the two, because I did look yesterday and they both have the same exact products, I would say go to Box Lunch, and they're owned by the same company. So I would say go to Box Lunch. Yeah, and they did have some jewelry too. Like you can get Neytiri's necklace. You can get some bracelets, like Jake's bracelets. So yeah, they have some pretty cool stuff on there.
That's really cool. I'll have to check that out. After I get done spending all my money on merchandise, I'm going to need them actually to buy my lunch. So yeah, I think I'm going to shop
So
there.
Actually, if you guys go to Box Lunch and do that, I think they're actually going to ship a lunch out to Drew. So please, please go to Box Lunch and get some lunches out to Drew, please, especially because ain't no rest for us. So he needs to stay fueled. But anyways, moving on. What was the other topic? What's another topic that you you brought a question, right? From our friend Sean that runs the the podcast Road to Avatar, and he actually left he said, can't make it for the live show, but if you see this, I'd love to hear you answer the question. Which of the human characters from The Way of Water are you most excited to see more of? For me, it's Parker Selfridge. Bring him back. And so, yes, our friend Sean wasn't able to, make it here live with you guys, but, figure we would answer his question. And you can go first, Drew. Who are you, human-wise, looking forward to seeing the most?
I'm not. They killed off the only human that I really liked in the show. That'd be Trudy. And apart from that, I'll be honest, I'm really not excited about any of the humans that are coming back. And that's not a joke.
God. Jesus. How about any new ones? Like, any new scientists, Michelle Yeoh is going to be a human character. Nobody. Not.
The only one I'm kind of excited to see again is Quaritch, but I mean, he's not going to be a human now.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see Kevin Dorman's character just because Kevin's such a cool guy. I don't expect it to be a large role, but I'd like to see what his character does in the film. But apart from that, man, I'm not really into Avatar for the humans, to be quite honest.
You're like, we see those every day.
Absolutely. I see Earth every day. I see humans every day. So I'm into Avatar for the Na'vi and Pandora.
I think I have a cheat answer. I have two. I have obviously Spider. I would say right is like probably the most exciting human character. So I think you forgot about him, bro. Unless you really don't care about Spider.
Well, I mean, the original question was, any of the human characters. Let's see, which of the human characters from TWOW are you most? Oh shit! Well, I read that wrong, so I apologize.
Wow. So
I
Drew sent
thought
me this question, and he didn't even read the question. Sean, I'm just kidding.
no, in my head I was thinking characters
Like
coming back.
returning. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
but
he did.
no, I
Because
did.
he did put partner. Yeah.
But no, I actually did forget about Spider because I don't really care about Spider either. Like I said,
Oh
man, I'm
my
here for the
god.
not V. I'm here for the not V and Pandora. Everything else is just toppings.
Look at this one. I love this one. Lynx Cat says Drew hates Spider just like Neytiri does. Oh man, man.
No, I don't hate him.
Volume 1,
I
man.
just
Volume 1.
yeah.
The other one is for me is so aside from Spider and obviously everything we've learned in Volume 1 of the High Ground and what we could see in the in Avatar 2. The other one is General Ardmore, like Eddie Falco, because honestly, I wasn't too excited about it until we got just even those few panels in the kind of already sold me on her, and I was like, man, I can't wait to see more. Like she really is like person that already demands respect and authority, and like in just like a few panels, not even like really pages, I was already impressed. So General Ardmore would be my other one that I can't wait to see more of, and see how crazy that character is.
I'm sure once I see The Way of Water, I will like and enjoy some of the characters, but going into it, I'm kind of meh on all of them. But I mean,
Yeah.
there's obviously going to be ones that pop up that I like. So,
and actually, next here is, I think some guys even here, but some guy actually commented, and I told him, we'll bring this up for sure, and it actually became a pretty big topic. And but yeah, it was, what's really interesting, and this was a video I did where on that new image that you basically just saw a different angle when we see the Sully family arrive on the Ikrans, and they're flying over the seawall terraces, kind of like those natural looking pools where you kind of see the Metkayina chilling in the teaser. You kind of see them fly over them really, really quick. Basically, we got an image on Mercedes-Benz website because of their cross promotion, where it was just a different angle, kind of like more from the angle of the Metkayina, kind of looking up at the Sully family flying overhead. And so what he said is really interesting about this and got me thinking is what this tells me, that each scene that we see in the movie is a fully fleshed out 360 digital world, and not like your typical facade movie set where it just looks good from one angle. There's probably so much beauty we won't see that is fully rendered just out of view. And actually this like sparked the, like, even me and Drew kind of went back and forth about this for a little bit. But yeah, I agreed with them, and I said, yeah, we'll delve into it during the stream. But yeah, Drew, that gets us into really the whole, like, a little bit of behind the scenes on the making of it. And I'm sure most of you probably know, but if there's any that don't, it's really interesting how. So basically, you were telling me, I mean, we've seen it even in the original documentary. They have like different processes. Obviously, they do the volumes where they capture the performances. But then at the same time, they do have a crude version of the characters and the environment. So basically, like digital sets. And they actually have this monitor where it's not really a camera, but like he says in the original documentary on the like collector's edition, it's just an object that the markers identify like this is a camera, but it's not a camera. So it's just a monitor he's holding on in his hands like a tablet, and wherever he looks through it, he sees not the real people in the suits. He sees like a crude version of their character models, and he actually sees a crude version of the environment, correct?
Yes. And as we're going to see here in a little bit, it's not as crude as it used to be. It actually looks okay. Obviously, it's not beautiful or fully rendered or anything, but the graphics have definitely improved on what he has to look through on his monitor.
Yeah. And for anybody, so yeah, like that, we kind of got into a little. We don't think that 360, like everything is 100% fully rendered to that degree, because that would really be like millions and millions, of polygons. It could be, I mean, I guess we won't fully know until we see like maybe an updated documentary. But you were there, and we do have some behind the scenes already of around this time when they were shooting the sequels. So we don't think fully 360, but they do build like a crude version of those 360, like kind of digital sets. And so like that, like he can walk around and basically feel like he's in it, kind of like a VR, but he's just looking through an actual like tablet. And kind of like if you play like an AR game or something, and like around you, it looks like that's really there. So it's something like that. But I believe once he, like you were telling me, once he picks his shots and he basically directs it, because they capture all this and he'll go by himself, he can still replay like everything they captured, the performances and the crude environment is there, and he will go in and basically direct, to be able to direct it the way he wanted to, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's with no actors there anymore presently. Like all their performances were captured. He kind of gets like a playback of it, but he can just still be able to freely move around. He can be in front of Jake Sully or behind, or he could still move 360 in there. It all looks kind of crude. They did upgrade it a bit. I can show you. Here's some behind the scenes images here. If anybody actually has seen, we said it was called Pandora Rising. Oh my god, canceled the game. R.I.P. Atlantis, Atlantis Rising, right, on Disney Plus. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, I believe it is.
If anybody hasn't checked it out, it's one that James Cameron, I don't know if he produced it, but he kind of appears in it for a little bit. Obviously didn't really embark on the actual, expedition itself, because he was busy with the Avatar sequels, but he kind of consulted with the people there. But the interesting thing was, in the beginning of it, in just the first few minutes, these shots are from that. You actually get to see them kind of capturing, not necessarily probably for the sequels, right? It was just kind of like, these were probably just tests.
Well, I don't know what they're doing right here on this particular point, but what you see right there is Julene Renee as Neytiri and Kevin Dorman as Jake. And Julene is actually a good friend of mine, and she told me that we haven't really talked about the sequels because they can't really say much, but she told me that her and Kevin filmed the entire Avatar, original Avatar, as Jake and Neytiri, did every scene, kind of helped them get all the technology in order. And then they went back through, of course, and had Sam and Zoe film their parts, but they didn't redo every single thing. So she said there's tons of shots she sees, and she says, oh, hey, that's me walking through there, or that's Kevin, or that's me and Kevin. So they very well may have been blocking off Avatar 2, Avatar 3 in these scenes. Or they could have just been doing it to record for this, for some extra footage for this show too. But yeah,
or at least, like
they
you
spend,
said, kind of testing. Yeah.
right. They spend years literally working on this, because obviously like Zoe and Sam are movie stars. I mean, they don't have time to devote, almost quote unquote waste their time doing the smaller parts. They need to be there for the big scenes.
Exactly. So like this, obviously, because they got to basically be able to perfect it, like you said, before the big, movie stars come in to actually just do the performance of the movie. Like you said, they're not really going to be here on a day to day. Just keep coming back to set to kind of work out the kinks or just kind of block stuff and see if it works, if he likes it. It's probably like a way to kind of storyboard it, kind of like they used to storyboard the entire movies before they even shot anything, because it would kind of already have like, this is the angle we want, this is what we want to do here. And so they probably just do that now, kind of like this way, kind of just digitally, like no more storyboarding on paper anymore, like just drawings. So this probably what they're doing. And like you said, these people can do it, whereas the big movie stars, they're going to come in when you're actually just in production to just film the scenes for the movie itself, not like working out the kinks and everything. But it's still really cool.
Yeah, it is very cool. And I mean, sometimes I think some of the background people don't get the credit they deserve. I mean, it really takes a whole team to bring these characters to life, even though, I mean, we kind of simplify it down into like, Zoe is Neytiri, Sam is Jake, but I mean, a lot more people bring those characters to life than that.
Exactly. And actually, we do have, if you guys would like to see it, we do have, I believe it's like a 5-minute video. So let us know if you'd like to see it. But it's a 5-minute video. You actually said somebody that used to be in one of the forums you were a part of, right? They actually were the ones recording this video, like there at Lightstorm.
Yeah, shout out avatarforums.com. No longer with us, but it was the place for tons and tons of Avatar fans back in the day. But yeah, a guy was on there. I want to say he was there. I don't think he himself was a film student. I believe he was an older gentleman, but he was there with some people and they got a tour of Lightstorm and he was able to record it. And what you'll see there is the volume, just a clip of him and whoever he's there with in the volume, and we get to see a little bit of how this technology works.
Yeah, so some of you guys in the chat are saying, yeah, play it, cool. So we'll play it. It's basically, it's not part of any documentary or anything. It was somebody that actually was able to attend with the small group of people. So you're gonna see kind of like a really right there in the thick of it. Your Jon Landau is there, and you'll basically get this explained to you. You'll get to see it in motion. So yeah, I'll play the video. We won't be able to talk while it's playing, but it's just 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 seconds or so. So we'll play it, and it's just behind the scenes stuff. It's not like new footage of the upcoming movie or anything, but it just kind of shows you how it all works. And it's great to just get this insight on, so not everybody knows how everything exactly works. And instead of just pictures, we figured we'd show you this 5-minute video. So yeah, thank you. Thanks some guy for honestly creating this topic for us. But yeah, we'll play this video and we'll see you after the video's over in like 5 minutes or so. And hope you guys enjoy. So I'll play it now.
Performance. This is what Jim would do. Remember I was telling you we would separate out the performance? Mm-hmm. So the actors don't wait around for this. And now he could get the shot of them jumping down.
So you can walk up to them nice and slowly because you're going to space much more quickly than you
How did they get that capture? Oh, that's so cool. Jumping down.
That was pre-recorded, right? Or pre-captured, or pre-rendered?
It's a stitch mark.
And then we have you multiply that
they
jump. Wow. But then we'll need at least one volunteer to do a
That's mechanical, and then that does.
So I noticed you stayed down here. So does that what you It's an inverse biokinematic solve. So there is a test at the end. All right. So, but basically, what it's doing is, although it's capturing surface data, it's resolving it to a skeleton. And once you have a skeleton, kinematics, now you can manipulate that skeleton. You can take it and make it do anything else. It has meaning. You can. So this is the back in the day when we looked at this in 2005, there was a system out there that claimed to be mathematically more accurate than the giant system, but ultimately it gave you surface data. Surface data is great, but it really isn't what we're interested in. We're interested in what's going on inside. Once you have the bones, once you have the skeleton, now you can manipulate it and apply it to a non-linear relationship, like they're taller, they're skinnier. So long as you have the bones, then you can manipulate the skeleton.
This also does the muscle? Or?
No, we do the muscle as a post-process. We have a whole back end where what you're seeing now is a jump forward, obviously, from the last time. We use a very basic skinning on the first time around. So basically, we go through a process of calibration where we give the actors something that they can work against. So the worst, in some ways, your biggest enemy is pantomime. Pretending to be in a scene. Oh, it's just, as an animator, as an animation director, it's the thing that kills you. And it's what makes fake effects look fake. I mean, because everything's fake, but fake effects can look real if you do them properly. If you allow the actor to believe in the moment. And again, I think that's a really important thing for us, was that believability. All right. So let's come back down. Oh, that was a near miss. Look at you. And then around the edge. Okay, so we'll have you coming out of it. All right, we'll give you a mark. So this is very much the way it would work. You're going to start here. You're going to come around on a path like this, and you're going to go up the line. All right. And literally, we would have Maria, our first AD. Yeah. Which we'll have you play directly.
Hello, team.
All right, here we go. Is that Richie?
Yep.
And action.
Now, Andrew's pretending there's another actress with him. So, can you make me 10-1, Dan? Yeah. So, one of the really powerful things about this as well. All right, and let's go again, Andrew. Go back to your mark. Walk forward slowly. Right, stop there. Dan, can you take this, select the bush? Yeah, just my camera for a second. Okay, so this is basically an exercise of manipulation. Everything that's out here is an individual component that can be manipulated at any point. So the way we build it, we build the world to our best guess. Which one? Either both of them and scale them down, actually. All right, nice. That's a little bigger.
Nice.
Okay, can you take the one on the left and split them apart?
Oh, wow.
Okay. Now, Andrew, can you see them? You want to make your way between them?
Wow, in real time.
And around it. There you go, and up into the... There you go, look at that. We have a winner. All right, so if we were to shoot Andrew, we could pretend this, let's say this is a crane now. All right, so back to one, Andrew.
Back to one. Make that same path in and shoot between the bushes.
All right. Okay. You ready?
Set. And action, Andrew.
So you can see I barely moved at all. But what we've done is basically we've displaced this in scale. So the whole world, this exists in a completely different scale to him. And you'll notice I also never point the camera at him. It's a really tricky thing for people to get used to. The people who are used to staying out of the eye line of the camera, you literally say, okay, this, albeit it's the camera, there's no lens. People will not walk. Still, anybody who's been on the set won't walk across. They're afraid of coming up on screen. It's really funny.
Oh, wow. This is not just any old theater. This is like a working theater.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, man, that was awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed it. That's crazy. Like the technology behind these movies is incredible. And we think everybody knows, but not everybody does. And even, some fans don't know. And it's mind-blowing stuff. They really did pioneer a lot of things. The whole virtual camera, they pioneered a lot in the first movie, and obviously just pushed the envelope even further and perfected it. But then created a whole new challenge of like, let's do all of this, but underwater. So we can see why this just took that many years, right, Drew? It's like it took years literally for them to perfect that underwater.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a whole nother level, a whole nother ball game right there. I have no idea really what all went into doing underwater other than just what everybody else has seen. But man, I can't imagine trying to act while holding your breath. Like that's serious talent.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. A lot of us wouldn't be able to do that for sure. Charlie Wood says cool stuff. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, he just says cool stuff. Thanks. We went from Shadow Man on N64 to PS4 Dreams. Hey, the little uptick in quality was cool. I did very much love like the little uptick in the character model, especially because remember from a lot of those deleted scenes that weren't rendered, they were like really rough. They were very just
very rough.
Very simple polygons, very rough. So these at least look pretty decent, so that was pretty cool.
Something that I'm super impressed is that James was ever able to get, an actress that's as well known as a Kate Winslet to buy into this, and not only just buy into it, but I forget what her record was, but hold her breath for like 7.5 minutes. Same with Sigourney Weaver. I mean, Sigourney's not exactly young these days, but he got all these huge names to buy into this and actually embrace it. I just think that's amazing.
Yeah, and we know Zoe Saldana was like very trepidatious. She didn't really like the water, and we talked how he kind of put that in the movie itself. We're gonna see Neytiri in The Way of Water. He kind of wrote it in where she also would be the one that's most trepidatious about the water setting. But yeah, that's incredible. Like for everybody in the cast to have to have done this. It's pretty incredible stuff. So I really hope, like people said here in the chat, we do get to really see it, because I can't wait to see I've already spent years watching, over and over the documentary and all the other little scenes that we got in the collector's edition. I'm a behind the scenes junkie. Like my favorite ones, Lord of the Rings, Avatar stuff, just hours and hours of special features on those. And I love it. We don't really get that nowadays anymore. Especially from Disney, they don't really put them on their physical media. They started to now do them for the streaming platform. So even if it's that way that we get it, I just hope we do get like hours of special features on Avatar 2 behind the scenes, because this one's going to be even more mind blowing than that one was. But we actually have, and then actually another person here in the chat that you're friends with, Lynx Cat. She actually
never heard of her.
She actually sent you some images of something that honestly I hadn't heard about. I think you said you hadn't heard about either, right? So it's actually pretty cool. So shout out to Lynx Cat in the chat, everybody, for these upcoming ones, because they're pretty cool. So first I'll show the promotional ones, or actually, I'll show the one that I believe this one was taken when she found them, but apparently she came across some like Kinder Joy Avatar limited edition, toys. And basically what this kind of looks like on the inside here, you sent me one of these promotional images. Like it's a tree and a toy, as it states there on the packaging. So you do get little, tiny figures in there. And honestly, I hadn't heard of this at all. Like, I didn't know this was going to be a promotion. I haven't heard anybody else talk about it. Here's another shot of what the packaging looks like. I mean, right there, I believe at that, the Jake, giving us a thumbs up. Like, thank you for talking about this. But I believe that's a Jake from Avatar 1, right?
A little hard to tell from that shot. But yeah, I think so. Is my microphone better, guys?
Oh yeah, you're good now, man. Yeah,
okay.
it sounds good.
One thing I did want to add though is like this is kind of that perfect middle ground where I can spend my money on Avatar, but it's also feeding me at the same time. So maybe I wouldn't need that donation from Box Lunch.
I was about to say, now no, we're still going to get you some of those lunches so please everybody, boxlunch.com, get your shirts and help Drew out, please. But yeah, so here's kind of the packaging, you'll get them in there. I mean, I think this is pretty cool. I mean, so there we get a shot of like one of the little toys right there. And let's see here. Here's what a full case of them will look like. And then actually Lynx had also sent us the actual pictures of what some of the toys were that she got. You can kind of see them there on the side of the box. But let me show you the picture. So here's like a little example. She ended up with, I believe it looks like 2 of the Taruks, right? And 3 Elus.
Yeah. What are the odds? I believe there's 8 different figures, if I'm right. And out of 5, she got only 2 different ones. So.
And then here's another picture. Well, no, I guess you got more, right? Because this is also a picture from her, right?
It was, but I'm not sure. She'll have to clarify what's going on here. She did send me this picture, but I don't think she got all of these different ones.
Oh, okay. Well, this one's still pretty cool. So we see here we can get a dire horse, the Elu, the Taruk again. It looks like Neytiri and Jake. And then the 2 there in the middle, are those 2 different banshees, or is one of them maybe a stingbat?
And what do you mean it looks like Neytiri and Jake? You can't clearly see that is Neytiri and Jake?
It's like you can't tell by their like non-facial features that's clearly like Jake with the bazooka right there and
bazooka. I thought it was water pipe, so
water pipe. Oh man. But and then I love the Nalusa right there. Like that's pretty cool. Right next to the Elo, you have like a Nalusa. So that's another, Avatar 2 one right there. So that's really cool. And honestly, I told you the best, my favorite part of these is that they can just stand on their own because a lot of us that got the McFarlane toys, like the small scale figures, they just topple over. They don't really stand. So it's cool to see that these at least have like, a little base. So even the creatures and the characters can stand up well. And honestly, like I said, I didn't even know about it. So I think it's pretty cool.
Lynx also said that the Elu, she has the head moves. I believe you can see a joint there in the middle section. So it has a couple of points of articulation even. She said it glows in the dark, which, I mean, that's a lot for a toy that you get in a piece of candy.
And we have some guy says it's an easy rule. Is there a vest? No equals Jake. Yes equals Norm. Norm. We saw with the Avatar the High Ground, always had the vest, but he either had no shirt on, he had a shirt on, pants, no pants. I mean, he had like, Navi garments under there. He didn't just like have no pants on, but yeah. So, that was a funny one. Thank you, some guy. But yeah, man, I think these were pretty cool, especially for, for the younger kids, just walking into, I believe you said Lynx Cat found these at her local gas station that she went into.
Yeah, that's what she said. And then she also said one of her friends found them at Target.
So, yeah, if you guys are out at your stores and you guys normally see, displays of Kinder Joys, you could have, the new Avatar variants that we didn't know were out there, but, that's pretty cool. Let's see here. And then one final thing that she sent you was she actually found, the poster at Walmart itself. So that's pretty cool. She picked up the first poster we got, the teaser poster. So that's cool. The one sheet. So that's pretty cool, man. A lot of this stuff popping up, more and more at local stores. Whereas, the past 13 years, we didn't really have this opportunity. So it's pretty cool.
Santina said something in the chat. Guys, I saw many people on their YouTube channel predicting Avatar 2 box office, and the numbers don't look good. What do you think? That's something we actually dove into with our last stream. But Jerry, you want to give her a quick rundown of what we think?
Yeah. I don't have the images that I had in the last stream, but basically the projections are out, the long range projections, because obviously tickets haven't gone on sale yet. So it's not like they really have concrete numbers to kind of gauge anything yet. It's just their own estimations, but these are from experts that do it all the time. So normally they're kind of right. They kind of gauge like fan anticipation that they see and things like that. But anyways, their projections are that on the low end, it could, and this is US domestic numbers, it could open to 135, and on its high end, it could open as big as 175. So obviously in millions. And is like the 135 kind of low? I mean, if you're comparing it to, if you're trying to compare it to like MCU numbers or something, but they're a lot of these, like you said, these other channels or even articles on the internet, they're not really, doing their proper research. The original movie, like we said before, opened to 77 million. But the thing with Avatar and why it was an anomaly was it only fell from week 1 to week 2, 1.8%. It didn't even fall 2%. So the word of mouth was insane. So you told your family, you told your friends, and either they went back themselves or just more, other people that heard about it went back to create that, like, I don't think it's been done before ever since, just a 1.8% drop. And that kind of held steady throughout the whole run. It would drop, but very, very little. So it wasn't a big opening weekend, but nowadays we're all accustomed to these huge, we just want to see the big number right at the beginning, the opening weekend. It needs to be like, crossing 150 or 200 million. But for example, because we now have the numbers, the Black Panther Wakanda Forever, it dropped, I believe it was 69% from week 1 to week 2. And it opened, I believe it was $180 something million. So a little bit above, the high projection for Avatar: The Way of Water. But look at that, the downfall there, 69%, almost 70%. That's a huge amount. And that's what's been going on with a lot of these recent blockbusters. They're very front loaded. You'll get that huge opening number, but they will drop off dramatically, like off a cliff. And if they really want to, talk about it, none of the MCU movies this year have reached $1 billion. Like, factor that in. A lot of us are saying, Avatar 2 is going to be a disappointment if it doesn't cross 2 or if it doesn't even compete with the first one. The thing that's most, pop culture relevant right now, the MCU movies, they haven't even crossed $1 billion since last year when it was all the nostalgia bait from Spider-Man No Way Home. And trust me, I went to see that. I think the last one I went to see was Doctor Strange 2, and it was just, I was out. I didn't see Thor: Love and Thunder. I did go see Black Panther Wakanda Forever, but I mean, this is, and it's going to be another one that, because of this drop off, it's not looking like this is even going to cross $1 billion either. And it was one that easily a lot of people were like, it's gonna, reach 1.3, 1.5. It's not even gonna reach $1 billion. And that's why I told you guys the magic number that we just want to see Avatar: The Way of Water hit is $1 billion. That's all we need. We don't need two. I mean, would that be amazing? Yes, but that's a cherry on top. If it just crosses 1 billion, 4 and 5 are greenlit, and at the end of the day, as fans, that's literally the only reward we can get. Like, is it just going to be great to see the higher numbers? Yes, but the only reward we really want and care about is to know that we're going to see the complete saga. So, do I think this is anything to worry about? No, because that's just the domestic. And we talked about it before, Drew, right? Like, the domestic numbers for the first movie was like 27% of the overall box office of the movie. It's bigger in the foreign markets. So I don't think we have anything to worry about.
Definitely an international movie. And
exactly.
I mean, one thing that could definitely help it is the huge expansion of Chinese theaters that we didn't have during the first movie. Their theater market has just exploded. So that could really boost numbers. And again, I mean, I feel the exact same way as Jerry. As long as it hits $1 billion and it's successful, that's all we really can ask for. Yeah, I would love to see it become number one, but at the same time, it doesn't really matter. I don't know if it will. I really have no idea. I don't follow that side of movies at all. I just want it to be successful, make a lot of money, so the franchise is successful and just keeps on trucking on, so we get 4 and 5.
Exactly. And I mean, like you said, would it be cool to see those numbers? Yes. But at the end of the day, are they really going to do anything? No, because it's never going to be the most successful movie franchise. Really, that will be the MCU. Whether we like it or not. I mean, like I said, I was a fan of early MCU, phases 1 through 3. This phase 4, I've fallen off basically completely now after Doctor Strange 2. That was pretty much it. I'll maybe cherry pick here and then because my son and my family does like to see some of them, but no, like, it's never going to be the most successful franchise, Avatar. The MCU is going to have another 13 movies come out. I think we saw that on the last stream between, now and when we get Avatar 5, if we get Avatar 5, another 13 movies. So obviously they're just going to keep making money that no matter what, Avatar does, it's never going to catch up to, 30 movies deep or almost 40 by the time, Avatar 5 comes out. It's never going to be that. So at the end of the day, all we really want is to secure our sequels. So are these numbers making us nervous? At least for me, no. Because really, when you do your research and you kind of look at different factors, it's going to be the word of mouth. I see it being the same thing. Could it open 135? Yeah, but I don't really see it dropping off that much. It has no competition. And once again, it's bigger in the foreign markets. And like people have been saying in the chat, it's quality over quantity. These are works of art. Like each of these are going to be works of art that you can talk about for years. Look how long we have. Look at this community we've fostered that's been fostered for 13 years just on one movie. Like, once again, if you're comparing it to MCU, they're 30 movies in. We're still on one movie, but look how much passion went into it. We saw this behind the scenes video. Look how much technology and innovation, like that's the key, innovation. I've told Drew before, and sorry if I'm going on a tangent, guys, but these movies all have the innovation. With this one, like, look at that, the underwater performance capture. Did it need to be done? No. But with them, it's like, why not push the envelope? The envelope hasn't been pushed since the original Avatar. The remaster is, proved it itself. Visually, if anybody that went to see it can see that looked better than most movies we're getting, that are recent. And that was a 13-year-old movie. And then all of a sudden we got hit with those, one of 3 scenes after that. And you just see what the next level was, Avatar 2 scenes. Those were just next level. You're like, geez. So, that's going to be what movies are going to aspire to reach the next decade. Everybody right now is it become quantity over quality, whereas with Avatar, what we're getting is quality over quantity. So, yeah. Anything you want to add, Drew? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was going to say a lot of that, but some of that is also James Cameron. Not only does he want to innovate, but not very many people anymore, if anybody else, has the power that he has to be given years to develop a franchise like that. I mean, Fox has sunk so much money into Avatar over the last 13 years. I mean, how many other studios would be willing to do that for anybody? Even if one of the directors wanted to take an MCU movie and push the boundaries, expand technology, they're not going to get the green light for that. Star Wars isn't going to get the green light for that. They want to make money and they want to make it as soon as possible. So James is in a unique situation where he can take his time and he can advance technologies and he can do what he wants. And they know it's going to make them money in the long run, so they're okay with it. But not everybody can do what he's doing and Lightstorm's been doing. So I think it's going to be very successful. I think it's going to surprise everybody again. I hate to put like a number on it, but I think it's going to do really well. And everybody's going to be shocked yet again. All the haters are going to be hating again, but we'll be all right as fans.
Exactly. And like you were saying, like not everybody gets afforded this opportunity. And at the end of the day, we should be grateful, that there are, I mean, at the end of the day, some of these, companies, they do just have to worry about the bottom dollar. And if every director was James Cameron, then James Cameron wouldn't be James Cameron. Like he wouldn't be on that pedestal, where he's at, like, fittingly, and then it wouldn't be special anymore. I kind of like that these are special. They're events, they're theater experiences that you can't replicate at home. We've seen that with the first Avatar for 13 years. Like it's not the same at home. You go see the remaster and that just blew everybody away that went to see it. Even naysayers. Like I've said before, I haven't heard one negative thing of anybody that actually went to see the remaster. So yeah, it's I'm grateful for other movies can worry about just pumping things out as fast as they can, and it's great because we'll stay in our lane and James Cameron will innovate. If everybody was doing it, then it wouldn't be special. So we want to get these special movies that we do get.
Yeah, I agree, man. And so we're really in a unique situation with COVID and all of that's happened. I mean, I think we could really be surprised at how many people finally are like, hey, it's time to go back to the movies again. And especially, again, through word of mouth. Obviously there's going to be a media blitz and it's finally starting to happen, but it's going to be that word of mouth. And I could see it doing a bit of what it did last time, where week 1 to week 2, there may not be hardly any drop off at all. That's what I'd love to see myself.
Exactly. And earlier, I believe it was Charlie Wood. Let me see if I find it. The success of, I'll bring it up here. The success of Top Gun has me scratching my head. Granted, I didn't see it on the big screen, but it didn't seem that special to me. It was like the Mighty Ducks or something. I mean, I will say what that proved right there, though, was just exactly like that people were hungry for something now other than just, the MCU or whatever it is, the comic book genre, or just the stuff that we've been getting the last few years. It was honestly a breath of fresh air. And you got to, it was a franchise that 36 years later got a sequel where everybody has been saying nobody's going to care about Avatar 2. It's coming out too late. It's been 13, 14 years. Nobody's going to care. This was 36 years later, and look what it did. It's the top grossing movie of the year so far. I believe it's at it made 1.5, 1.6, something like that. It was like its own little anomaly that it did that compared to, obviously what's been the most pop culture relevant franchises. But I think the big thing of here was a lot of people that came out for Top Gun were people that hadn't come out yet for the theaters, I believe, in years, or especially since the pandemic. I believe it brought a lot of the older crowd, because maybe there were fans, 36 years ago, they, in the 80s, they loved the original Top Gun, whatever it may be. It brought out fans that these other movies were not bringing out. And that's what Avatar did back in the day. And that's what I think it's going to do again. It's going to bring out literally across the board, grandparents, parents, children, every, demographic out there. And that's what I think this touched upon. And it was a breath of fresh air, just something different.
We've got Vu Plants in the chat saying, I've worked on Avatar 2 and 3 for 3 years as a 3D environmental artist. Not allowed to say anything about it, but I'm as excited to see it as you all are. Hey, thanks for joining us. That's awesome.
Whoa. Oh, man, I completely missed that one. That is incredible. Hey, thanks for, tuning in. That's awesome. And, yeah, we're obviously enormously excited here, everybody here. So that's amazing. Thank you for tuning in. Let's see here. And they also say Avatar was the first movie I took my family to see in the movie theater. Yeah, funny enough, that was actually the first time because I started working at the time, around when the first one came out. I finally, got my first job, things like that. So for Christmas, because it came out, obviously in December, it was one I paid for my whole family that was visiting to go see, and it still remained like that was the best, theater experience I've ever had. The movie itself, combination that I was so excited. I paid for like everybody to go see it. So yeah, hopefully I can repeat that this December as well. How about you, Drew?
Well, I was actually a little bit late seeing Avatar. I really didn't have any interest in it until my cousin, about the same age as me, we share the same interests, like the same movies, everything like that. So he called me and just expressed his excitement. And so I knew I had to see it. And so I saw it on January the 1st of 2010. So at that time, I just went with one of my buddies, got tickets, went that evening, and it was a great way to start off that year. That's for sure.
That's awesome. But yeah, it's amazing. And they said again, never thought I would get to work on Avatar 2 and 3 5 years later. Man, wouldn't that be like, that would, for obviously the majority of fans, like that would be like a dream come true. So I'm so happy that you got to work on them. So we can't wait to see, what all the hard work pay off in just honestly, a few weeks. So it's going to be incredible.
Yeah, thanks for joining us and saying what you can, which we know isn't really anything about the movie, but it's fun hearing that story and how you ended up actually working on it.
Anybody in the chat, like before we go today, anybody anything particular you guys want to see in the trailer tomorrow, or any stories about, are you going to get multiple tickets, anything you guys want to say? Multiple people saying they were young. They were some are saying they were a child when it came out. I'm jealous for the kids that get to see these movies nowadays, Drew. This could potentially be like their, like, you know what I mean, like their cornerstone franchise, when they, like, seminal franchise now that they're kids, like basically like their Star Wars, as we kind of have said in the past.
Well, it's kind of funny that you mentioned that, because me and my cousin grew up watching Star Wars together. Both still enjoy it to some degree to this day. But that was one of the things he told me after he saw Avatar was, he's like, man, this is going to be like our Star Wars. So that's something that always stuck with me. And I knew with him saying that, like, whoa, this must be good. Like, I have to go tomorrow to see this movie.
Exactly. And it's taken like years and years to finally see a sequel to it, but now we get, 4 of them. And it might be a little late for us, but yeah, for this like new generation coming in right now that either weren't even born, like I've said before, like my 10-year-old son is like that perfect age where it wasn't born yet. Love the remaster, and now just a few months later gets to see, Avatar 2 in theaters. Like I'm so jealous of that they only have really like a few months wait in between like seeing 1 in theaters and seeing 2. But yeah, still for us, like you said, man, like it's still gonna be a seminal, work of art and a seminal saga. I can't wait to see. That's why it's like all I'm praying for is with the first movie, that's what I was doing. I was like, I went to see it, I loved it, and then the whole weekend I was like tracking numbers. And I think I'm gonna do the same, for the few weeks, just to kind of see like it gets to the point where it makes $1 billion, and then I'll be able to breathe. Because I just want 4 and 5, confirmed, and then I can, we can breathe.
Yeah, wouldn't that be awesome if it comes out, and does so well in the first couple of weeks that that Disney's able to say, "Hey, we're green lighting 4 and 5 for sure." That would be awesome. That would be exciting. I don't know if that'll happen, but I know that's definitely something I'd love to see. I don't know if we're going to have to wait longer than that. Like even if 2 is successful, if they're going to let us know that right away or not.
Yeah, it'll probably take a little bit. I'm hoping that if it does, obviously we don't know for sure, but crossing our fingers, it does cross that $1 billion. That maybe around that time, a little shortly after. They might fully wait until the end of the theatrical run, which I'm glad they're saying, it could be a little while. That James Cameron said Disney has, agreed to not stick to the 45-day window for it to just appear on Disney Plus. How they've been doing with recent movies. 45 days later, they're on Disney Plus. He said they have agreed, that to extend that even further. So I love that they are going to give it, this the proper push that it needs. And
I hope that means it spends a lot of time in theaters too.
Oh, what was that last part again?
I hope that means that it spends a long time in theaters as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that that's the case. And down the road, I with the 4 and 5, I assume not with 2 or 3, that maybe fulfill what he kind of said in that conversation with Denis Villeneuve, the director of Dune, where he said he hoped in the future he could maybe present a theatrical length version of a movie in theaters, and then later when it is on streaming, after its theatrical run, have the option of a 6-hour version of that movie. Same movie, just, one's more fit for the theatrical and one for streaming, where he said, let's take advantage of both, platforms, not just only service one. So who knows, maybe with 4 and 5, he'd get the okay if these start making really good money to maybe do that, but who knows? Could be a pipe dream.
You told me about that a while back, and I just can't even imagine. Like a 5 or 6 hour movie, which, like you said, it would be perfect for a streaming platform versus theater. But man, can you imagine being able to dive in for 5 or 6 hours just on one movie?
I think he might mean like even when it's streaming, like have it be. It might just be in chunks, like it might be like a 5-part, kind of like a limited series right now. Kind of like the Obi-Wan show was like a 6-part limited series. I see it would work great like that, like you said, maybe not literally pushing play on a 6-hour runtime movie, because that's a long commitment right there.
Yeah, instead breaking up in chunks, that would be really cool. That'd be interesting to see how they would do that.
Yeah. So here in the chat, we have people saying they would like to see more of Neteyam. I think a lot of people would, so that we can stop thinking that he's going to die. A lot of people said, Quaritch, they would like to see him talk in the trailer. Obviously, to not reveal too many story spoilers, things like that. Pretty much in agreement with all that. But yeah, as long as we get more Avatar, I'm happy. Yeah, and hopefully, it's not just confined to these 5 movies. I think movie-wise, I would be happy just with the 5. We saw that we can talk about one for 13 years. So to have 4 more, juggernauts like that, we can talk about that for decades to come for all 5 movies together. What I would like to see it expanded is like, use the streaming platform, give us like animated shows. Because obviously I don't want a live action show because nothing's going to match the quality of the movies. You see how expensive, you know what I mean? Like the render quality and all that. You're not going to get that on the budget of normal TV shows,
And earlier when you were playing the behind the scenes video, I ran to a local gas station. It's just right up the road. But I grabbed one of those Kinder eggs, and inside each one, besides the toy, it actually gives like a fun fact for Avatar 2. And so I just opened mine up here while we're talking, and mine says Netayam will die in Avatar 2. So I guess that's actually confirmed.
Oh my god.
You heard it
now
here
you're getting that.
first.
So now they're like fortune cookies too. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Oh, actually, you did remind me that Link's cat did share some other pictures with you, right? On a different feature that does come with those Kinder Joy eggs. So,
yeah. Yep.
For the last thing that we probably will cover on this stream, it comes with an AR code, I believe you said, and you can. So I'll put it here up on the screen. Kind of gives you like an AR interactive version of the different creatures, and you can kind of play with them in this form on your phone and things like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. Like I said, for something we didn't even know was a thing, this is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, not only do you get delicious candy, you get a toy, you get a game you can play, and fun facts about who's going to die in Avatar 2. Like, you can't ask for more than that out of a $2 piece of candy.
Exactly. And we have another image here. Here's one of the Taruk. That one looks pretty cool as well. And that's not at first when I quickly saw them, I thought it was just like on a table, but that's actually like a whole living room. So that's actually a pretty cool, like a pretty big AR thing right there. So that's pretty cool.
That is cool. I'd like to see what it actually does.
And apparently they're right here. They're in Pokemon Stadium about to battle. So that's pretty neat right there. But yeah, that's yeah. So you get this as well when you buy those little Kinder Joy eggs. So that's pretty neat. All right, man. Anything else you would like to bring up at the end?
All I want to say is thank you, everybody, for showing up. Honestly, guys, you're what makes this fun. Like, me and Jerry have fun talking, but you guys just really take it to the next level. I love hearing what you guys think, hearing your thoughts, your ideas. So, sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, thanks to all you guys.
Yeah, same here. Thank you for always showing up. There's always a good amount of you that chat and just stay watching. But, I think we should say, let's come back tomorrow because we can have a whole new trailer. We can have tickets that we all purchased. And maybe even the remaster on Disney Plus. So there could be a whole, trifecta of awesome events tomorrow. So hopefully that happens, and we have a lot to talk about tomorrow too, breaking down probably, giving our impressions on the trailer and all that. And hopefully for Brianna Brown's sake, Netayam does not die. because apparently she would be very, very distraught. So hopefully that is not the case.
Don't
I would
ever
be praying.
doubt the Kinder Egg. So it's not looking good at this point.
But yeah. Oh, also, final thing, Drew. You said you actually did create like a new Instagram for exploring Avatar.
I did. It is actually Exploring Avatar Podcast. So we'll use it just to post like when we're going live. If you guys have any questions, maybe you won't be around for the live stream and you have some questions you want to have us get into, just send us a message on there or tag us in something and we'll try to get to you.
Yeah, because we want to try to come up with something where you guys can kind of, leave us questions somewhere that we can cover on the live streams, or, like that, like share something that you find, anything interesting. And that way we can always, keep these, chats going and just have fun. So yeah, if you guys want to check that out. And yeah. All right. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I think that's all we have for you today. I mean, it wasn't super structured, but it was still a ton of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed some of it. That behind the scenes video was pretty cool. I didn't even know about the Kinder Joy egg, so that surprised me. And then, yeah, let's see if tomorrow we get the trailer, the tickets, and all that.
Quick time out there, Jerry. There's one more thing we have to address. Some guy says, my Kinder Egg says Neytiri won't be in Avatar 3. So I think he got a counterfeit one, possibly. I'm not sure what's going on there, but don't pay that any attention, some guy. That can't be true.
Because if that does happen, then Drew won't be seeing Avatar 3 as well. So that would come with another truth as well. Because as much as Brianna Brown does not want Netayam to die, Drew does not want Neytiri to die. So those are the two.
I mean,
I think they both will. So hopefully, for their sakes, we can pray for those two to live. So let's hope that's the case. But yeah, join us back tomorrow, and obviously, hopefully, we'll have super interesting things to talk about with the new trailer and our tickets to be able to show you. And yeah, so thank you so much for tuning in. And just, we'll see you guys tomorrow.
See you guys.